On the broadcast are my guests Bavrin Kandari, who is an environmentalist and a member of My Right to Breathe. Also joining me is Ronak Sutaria, who is the founder of Respirer Living Sciences. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. First, I'll start with Ms. Bavrin. Help us understand what exactly do we make of this data, because time and again we are talking about how there's no money, there's not enough that the government is doing to mitigate pollution, to counter pollution. But from the data that we're getting right now, clearly there is money, but there's just not enough people, or maybe there's just not enough brains to act on it.
Yes, absolutely. You've said it all. And, it's ironical that many of us in all these shows, in the past shows, have even asked for that we need more funds and the allocation of funds must be done magnanimously, etc. And this is the state. It's taken 5 years for the National Clean Air Plan to actually, even come to the stage of saying that, yes, we have funds, but we didn't know how to use them. So it's really something very sad. Whether the officials don't have the knowledge of how, which I think personally is the case of there are a lot of guidelines. Everything has been written, but the connection of actually working on these actions on the ground is something that lacks in the training, in the implementation of how to go about it. I wonder if many of us even know that whatever funds that have been used have also been used, quite strangely for reasons like football grounds and or even drains and fountains. So that's not related to air pollution. So this clearly points out that there is a really strict need or an urgent need to actually bring in a kind of a training, serious training, bring in all the stakeholders, which means the experts, the civil society, who is always there trying to protect and bring in various solutions to mitigate this air pollution. An ordinary citizen myself, we are actually struggling to save that one tree throughout the years that we are fighting in courts to even protect one single tree, or even work on various issues like we've been asking for umpteen number of years to convert the crematoriums, bring more electric crematoriums, CNG. I mean, these are things that are, you have the money, but it's not happening. So or even everything for
Right.
that. We have a
Right.
waste management disaster right now in the name of meeting. So various issues that obviously I can go on and on. And of course, Ronak is the expert here also, who
Absolutely.
will tell us exactly.
Absolutely. I'll take that point across, in fact, to Ronak there. Ronak, we are talking about money there, money just lying unused. We've got money being collected in various forms, in the form of charges, in the form of taxes that are collected. And from the data that has come out, clearly there only 20% being used. I mean, it's not like we've completely solved pollution. We don't know where to use the money, because every now and then there are a lot of marathons that are organized, a lot of citizen groups that are out there protesting and also bringing the entire situation to the light, bringing it, highlighting it, in fact, to the government as well. But clearly, there's just not enough coordination between the citizen groups and the government, which in fact can come out with a formula to ensure that all of this amount which is lying there can at least be used.
So yeah, hi Ashish. Thanks for highlighting this issue. And I did read about the CPCB report which was filed to NGT. And the numbers are absolutely startling, like you said. I think the crux is pretty much in what you summarized: is there are not enough minds working on this issue. And the recent CPCB annual report, actually, I was reading the report earlier today. The strength, the staff strength in CPCB is about 550 people. And I was looking at comparable numbers of other countries, of developed nations. A couple of the Western countries, the federal protection agencies or regulatory agencies have a staff strength of between 15,000 to 18,000 people to do a similar job as what the CPCB is doing. Of course, the budgets are not comparable. Those are developed nations. We are developing nations. But there is no lack of people in our country. I mean, if anything, we have a hugely large number of qualified
But
people
Ronak, you're talking
available to
about,
work.
sorry to interrupt you there. Ronak, sorry to interrupt you there. You're talking about how the budgets are not comparable, how, of course, they have larger strength, but also let's look at the demography. Let's look at the population here. There might be not,
Absolutely.
the budget might be less, but look at the population. I mean, we really need to find a way, and it's not even like we don't have money right now. From what the data that we have right now, there's money. There are people that are battling this issue. There are, of course, solutions that need to be found, but people who have the money, who are in position of power, just don't want to do it, and that's the most
So,
shocking part.
Ashish, yes, absolutely. I think you are pretty spot on. I think I was just going to highlight a systemic issue here. CPCB's capacity to absorb funds
Right,
is
go
about
ahead.
100 crores a year. You look at their annual budget and it is about 100 crores. Now, the EPC and the environmental compensation charges, those are over and above their annual budget, what is available to them. Now, the two charges are 750 crores, 770 crores actually, as the report pointed out. Now, the ability for the agency, so I'm actually going to really call out uh, the I mean, the organization, the entity here, because this is absolutely a dereliction of duty, of not spending these funds. These funds have been collected. They need to be disbursed in a timely manner. And this winter, there was a huge population which suffered the brunt of pollution. And environmental compensation, as the name suggests, needs to be compensated to the people who have suffered the pollution. So, in fact, I think one of the things I wanted to highlight on the show is literally the name of these two charges, the environmental compensation and the environmental protection charges, which amounts to 750, which is a massive fund. Just to give you a sense, Mumbai had access to about 250 crores as its budget for 18 million people. Delhi NCR, the budget is about three times as much. So there is absolutely, it's a morally untenable position to not have spent this budget in a timely manner, to disburse it to the people who have suffered the brunt of this pollution season. So, and I saw the way this funds were designed to be spent on this study, that study, lab equipments. Fundamentally, these funds should have been directly disbursed to the people who have suffered pollution this season. There is a concept of direct
Right,
benefit
right.
transfer or a polluter pays principle. I think we have a complete failure in how disbursement is happening for these funds.
Absolutely.